See you later, Greggy.
Life.
Okay, I'll cancel Barbara again. I'll clip the stupid hedges.
You don't have to if you really don't want to.
Back in the 1960s and 1970s, few shows captured hearts like The Brady Bunch.
2.5 to 2.5?
Cindy voted twice. What's each way?
With its wholesome take on family life, catchy theme song, and lovable characters, the show quickly became a household favorite. For 6 years, it painted the picture of a big blended family navigating life with laughter, love, and the occasional teenage drama. But while the Bradys lived in harmony on screen, life after the spotlight wasn't always as bright for the cast. Some went on to live fulfilling lives, while others faced hardships, scandals, or heartbreak. Sadly, a few have also passed on. So, what really happened to the cast of The Brady Bunch? Let's dive into the real stories behind those iconic TV smiles. Robert Reed. Can you believe it's been almost 50 years since The Brady Bunch signed off the air? The beloved sitcom about a big blended family was a huge hit during its original run from 1969 to 1974, launching several young stars and giving us that catchy theme song we still can't get out of our heads.
Here's the story of a lovely lady.
Since then, the cast have come together for reunions, specials, and award shows, and even starred in a home renovation series centered on the original Brady house, which just sold, by the way. But not everything has been sunshine and smiles. Over the years, the cast have faced major highs and heartbreaking lows, including the loss of their TV mom, Dad, and the beloved housekeeper Alice. Now, let's talk about Robert Reed, who played the wise and calm Mike Brady, but whose real life was far more complicated. Before The Brady Bunch, Reed was already a seasoned actor. He got his big break in the mid-1950s, but it was the 1961 drama The Defenders that made him a TV name. He starred alongside E.G. Marshall, playing a father and son lawyer duo. Around this time, Reed also joined the Actors Studio in New York, home to some of the most serious and talented actors in the business. And he stayed a proud member for the next 30 years. In 1964, while still on The Defenders, Reed made his Broadway debut in Barefoot in the Park, stepping in for none other than Robert Redford. The show's success led to 2 new offers in 1968, one from Paramount Pictures and another from ABC. When Paramount decided to remake Barefoot in the Park with a mostly black cast, they looked to give Reed a new project, one that would become TV history. That show? The Brady Bunch. The creator, Sherwood Schwartz, had read an article in the Los Angeles Times saying that nearly 30% of marriages involved kids from previous relationships. That sparked an idea. Why not make a sitcom about 2 families becoming one? And so, the concept for The Brady Bunch was born. Interestingly, Reed wasn't the first choice for Mike Brady. The role was originally offered to Gene Hackman, but producers passed on him because he wasn't a big name at the time. Reed got the part, but he wasn't thrilled about it. From the very beginning, Reed disliked the role. As a serious Shakespearean actor, he thought the show's light-hearted and often silly scripts were beneath his training. He frequently clashed with Schwartz, demanding more realism in the storylines. He could be tough to work with, and directors found him difficult both on and off set. But here's the twist. Despite all that, the rest of the cast really liked him. He was respected, especially by the younger actors. They saw a man who cared deeply about quality, even if it came off as stubbornness. Reed regularly handed Schwartz handwritten notes, pointing out problems in the script, like when character actions didn't make sense, or when the show mixed farce and satire in ways that just didn't work. Schwartz usually brushed off Reed's complaints, but to keep the peace, he sometimes let him direct a few episodes. In a 1983 interview, Reed didn't hold back. "We fought over the scripts," he said, "always over the scripts." He felt Schwartz, known for creating Gilligan's Island, was only interested in silly gag lines. "That would have been the Brady Bunch," Reed claimed, "if I hadn't protested." Reed's biggest frustration came during the final episode, titled The Harebrained Scheme. He was so unhappy with the script that he wrote Schwartz a memo tearing it apart. Unfortunately, Schwartz got it too late to make changes, so Reed flat out refused to appear in the episode. By then, Schwartz had had enough. He planned to replace Reed in what would have been the show's 6th season. But before that could happen, ABC canceled the show. Years later, Reed admitted he only took the role for the money. Still, he tried to keep a positive attitude by reminding himself the show was really about the kids, not Mike Brady. Despite all the drama behind the scenes, Reed never let his frustration show on camera. He always gave a professional performance, playing the perfect TV dad, even if he didn't feel that way inside. He genuinely liked his co-stars, and the kids in particular saw him as a real father figure. Actress Susan Olsen, who played Cindy, even became good friends with Reed's daughter Karen, who made a guest appearance in the episode The Slumber Caper. Reed's final appearance on the show was in the second-to-last episode, The Hustler. Fittingly, his final line was, "Now I can get my car in the garage." After the Brady Bunch ended in 1974, Reed returned to the stage and guest starred in other shows and TV movies like Pray for the Wildcats and SST, Death Flight. In 1975, he earned critical praise and even an Emmy nomination for playing a transgender doctor in a 2-part episode of Medical Center. Oddly enough, even though he disliked the Brady Bunch, Reed kept coming back for spin-offs and sequels. In 1976, he appeared in the Brady Bunch Hour, a cheesy variety show he actually enjoyed because it gave him the chance to sing and dance, 2 things he loved. In 1990, Reed played Mike Brady one last time in The Bradys, a more serious, drama-style sequel. But once again, he clashed with Schwartz over the scripts. In fact, one unproduced episode even had Mike Brady die in a helicopter crash, possibly as a result of their disagreements. But The Bradys got canceled after just 6 episodes, so that storyline never aired. Reed's final TV appearance came in April 1992 on an episode of Jake and the Fat Man called Ain't Misbehavin'. As he neared the end of his life, Reed joined a touring production of Love Letters with Betsy Palmer and taught Shakespeare classes at UCLA, going back to his roots. In November 1991, Reed was diagnosed with colon lymphoma, a rare kind of colorectal cancer. He kept his illness private, only allowing his daughter Karen and a close friend, actress Anne Haney, to visit him. Just weeks before his death, Reed called Florence Henderson and asked her to tell the rest of the Brady cast he was terminally ill. Robert Reed died on May 12, 1992, at Huntington Memorial Hospital in Pasadena. He was just 59 years old. At first, it was reported that Reed died solely from cancer, but later, details from his death certificate revealed something more. He had also been HIV positive. He had been diagnosed in spring 1991, but told only a few close friends. To this day, no one knows exactly when or how he contracted the virus. What we do know is that he kept his private life truly private, right to the very end. Though he didn't die of AIDS, his HIV status was listed on his certificate as one of the significant conditions contributing to his death. Up next is Ann B. Davis. Ann B. Davis? Ann B. Davis first made a name for herself playing a witty secretary on NBC's The Bob Cummings Show, a role that earned her 2 Emmy Awards for Best Supporting Actress in a Comedy. But the world came to know and love her as Alice Nelson, the loyal housekeeper on The Brady Bunch. From 1969 to 1974, Davis played Alice, quick with a joke, always dependable, and part of the heart of the Brady family. And even after the original show ended, she wasn't done with the role. She came back for several Brady Bunch movies, including The Brady Girls Get Married and A Very Brady Christmas. She also returned in 2 spin-offs, The Brady Brides, which only ran for 10 episodes, and The Bradys, which ended after just 6. In 1995, she made a fun cameo in The Brady Bunch movie, this time as a truck driver named Schultze, a nod to her earlier TV days. In 1994, Davis published a fun and nostalgic cookbook called Alice's Brady Bunch Cookbook, filled with recipes inspired by the show, along with favorite dishes from the other cast members. In the early 90s, Davis went back to her first love, theater. She performed in Arsenic and Old Lace and joined both the Broadway run and world tour of Crazy for You. Though she slowed down a bit, Davis never fully retired. She popped up in Shake and Bake ads, then in a few Swiffer mop commercials, and stayed active in Brady Bunch reunions. One of her last big appearances was during the Brady Bunch 35th Anniversary Reunion Special on TV Land. When she stepped on stage, the crowd gave her a standing ovation. Davis never married and didn't chase after more major roles. She lived comfortably off her Screen Actors Guild pension, enjoying aerobics and studying theology. On June 1st, 2014, she passed away at age 88 in a San Antonio hospital. Earlier that day, she had suffered a subdural hematoma after a fall in her bathroom. She was living with Bishop Frey and his wife Barbara at the time. Friends said she had been in excellent health for her age and that her death was a complete shock. Maureen McCormack. Maureen McCormack was born on August 5, 1956, in the Encino neighborhood of Los Angeles, California. Her parents were Irene and Richard McCormack, a school teacher. She grew up in a Catholic home and had 3 older brothers, Michael, Dennis, and Kevin. At just 6 years old, Maureen won the Baby Miss San Fernando Valley Beauty Contest. Not long after, in 1964, she was already on national TV, appearing in commercials for Mattel's Barbie and Chatty Cathy dolls. As the 1960s continued, she landed guest roles in popular shows like Bewitched, I Dream of Jeannie, Honey West, The Farmer's Daughter, and My 3 Sons. In Bewitched, she played 2 versions of Endora, first as one of Darren's witch children, then as Endora herself in little girl form. She also voiced a redesigned Chatty Cathy doll in 1970. Her big break came when she was cast as Marcia Brady, the oldest daughter in The Brady Bunch. Marcia had a cheerful, popular personality and quickly became a fan favorite. Though the show ended in the mid-70s, reruns made it a beloved classic for generations. During the show's run, she had an off-and-on romance with her co-star, Barry Williams. She kept playing Marcia in other ways too, like voicing her character in the Brady Kids cartoon. Alongside the Brady cast, she recorded 4 music albums and even went on tour. In 1972, Maureen released her first solo single, followed by a pop album in 1973 with co-star Christopher Knight called Chris Knight and Maureen McCormack. That same year, she released 2 more singles, including Little Bird, which did well in the western U.S., especially in Salt Lake City, where it hit the top 5. She even performed Little Bird on American Bandstand, where Dick Clark encouraged her to keep singing. She followed that with another single, Love's in the Roses. Years later, in 2015, McCormack's role as Marcia found new life in a fun Snickers commercial that aired during Super Bowl. The ad featured actor Danny Trejo playing a grumpy version of Marcia until a Snickers bar helped her feel like herself again. Then, McCormack reappeared as the real Marcia. After the Brady Bunch ended, Maureen McCormack faced serious personal struggles. In her early 20s, she became addicted to cocaine and Quaaludes, which severely hurt her acting career.
I had come out of a 5-year heavy cocaine addiction.
She later admitted to trading sex for drugs during this period and described how addiction took over her life. At one point, she showed up to an audition with Steven Spielberg for a role in Raiders of the Lost Ark after staying awake for 3 days on drugs. Unsurprisingly, the audition went poorly and she developed a reputation in Hollywood for being unreliable. One producer even told her she might never work in the industry again. Alongside her addiction, McCormack also battled bulimia and depression. Even with those challenges, McCormack managed to book guest roles during the 1970s and 1980s on shows like Happy Days, Donnie and Marie, The Love Boat, Vegas, The Streets of San Francisco, and Fantasy Island. Despite trying for more serious roles, such as a prostitute or drug dealer in Midnight Express, casting agents couldn't see past her image as Marcia Brady. She continued to revisit that iconic role in reunion shows and spin-offs, including The Brady Bunch Hour, The Brady Girls Get Married, and The Brady Brides. In 1983, she took on a different kind of role, playing Wendy Darling in a stage tour of Peter Pan. In 1985, McCormack married Michael Cummings. Her road to recovery began after their marriage, but it wasn't easy. She went through multiple interventions, rehab programs, and even experimental treatments. One controversial psychologist, Eugene Landy, gave her a cocktail of medications that only worsened her condition. At one point, her mental health declined so much that she threatened to jump off a balcony in front of her husband. Eventually, she began taking antidepressants, including Prozac, which helped stabilize her. She credited her recovery in part to the support of her former Brady Bunch castmates. She continued to act occasionally, including a small role as a police officer, and made headlines in April 2007 when she appeared on Dr. Phil to discuss a family conflict. She accused her brother Kevin of elder abuse and claimed he had manipulated their father to gain control of his finances. That same year, McCormack joined the 5th season of VH1's Celebrity Fit Club. Motivated by the death of her mother from cancer and her responsibility for her disabled brother, she aimed to lose 30 pounds and succeeded in losing 34. She was named the winner of the season in June 2007. In October 2008, she released her memoir, Here's the Story: Surviving Marcia Brady and Finding My True Voice. The book quickly became a New York Times bestseller, debuting at number 4 and staying on the list for 3 weeks. It was published by HarperCollins and acquired by Lisa Sharkey, Director of Creative Development. Her journey came full circle in later years. In 2020, McCormack was named a Global Ambassador for Special Olympics International. Then in 2021, she stepped into the world of home design, co-hosting Frozen in Time on HGTV alongside contractor Dan Vickery, helping families restore and refresh outdated homes. Florence Henderson. Florence Henderson is best known for her iconic role as Carol Brady. Interestingly, her close friend Shirley Jones had originally turned down the role. Thanks largely to her beloved portrayal of the Brady family matriarch, Henderson was ranked #54 on TV Land and Entertainment Weekly's list of the 100 greatest TV icons. After her Brady Bunch fame, Henderson continued acting in numerous film and TV roles, including several Brady Bunch spin-offs. She also appeared on shows like Handy Manny, The Cleveland Show, The Hollywood Squares, and even hosted her own talk show. Her presence extended into reality TV as well, where she appeared on The Surreal Life and competed in Season 11 of Dancing with the Stars. In addition to acting, Henderson had a passion for cooking and hosted 3 cooking shows. Henderson married Ira Bernstein in 1956, and the couple had 4 children. They divorced in 1985. In 1987, she married Dr. John George Kappas, a hypnotherapist she had met when he treated her for depression and stage fright in the early 1980s. They were married until Kappas's death in 2002. Henderson had 5 grandchildren. Florence Henderson passed away on November the 24th, 2016, at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles at the age of 82. She had been hospitalized the day before, but according to her manager, Kayla Pressman, her death from heart failure was unexpected, and she had not shown signs of illness. Just 3 days before her passing, Henderson had attended a live taping of Dancing with the Stars to support Hergtime friend and former on-screen daughter Maureen McCormack. Barry Williams. Barry Williams, born in 1954 in Santa Monica, California, is the youngest of 3 boys. His parents were Doris May Moore and Frank Miller Blenkhorn, a Canadian of English, Scottish, and German descent. Williams and his brothers, Craig and Scott, were raised in Pacific Palisades, where actor Peter Graves was a neighbor. Williams decided early in life to become an actor. In 1967, he made his television debut in a Christmas episode of Dragnet 1967. He followed this with guest roles on several popular TV shows such as Adam 12, Mission Impossible, That Girl, The Mod Squad, Gomer Pyle, USMC, and Marcus Welby, Maryland. His big break came in 1969 when he was cast as Greg Brady, the oldest son on the Brady Bunch. After the Brady Bunch ended in 1974, Williams moved into musical theater, touring with shows like Grease, The Sound of Music, Pippin, and West Side Story. In 1988, he joined Broadway's Romance, taking over the lead role after Scott Bakula left. In 1984, Williams broke from his Greg Brady image when he was cast as the English con man Hannibal on General Hospital. Over the years, he returned for several Brady Bunch spin-offs and reunions. In 1989, he received the former Child Star Lifetime Achievement Award from the Young Artist Foundation. His 1992 autobiography, Growing Up, Brady, I Was a Teenage Greg, co-written with Chris Kresge, became a New York Times bestseller and was adapted into a TV film in 2000. That same year, he co-wrote and released a parody of Eminem's The Real Slim Shady called The Real Greg Brady. Williams has appeared in several other TV shows, including Highway to Heaven, Murder, She Wrote, Full House, and That 70s Show. He also made a brief appearance in Peter Gabriel's 2002 music video, The Barry Williams Show, although the song wasn't about him. And he has danced at the world's largest disco in Buffalo, New York, multiple times. From 2001 to 2002, he played Dean the Machine Strickland in Hollywood 7, a show featuring British pop group S Club 7. In 2003, he played himself in Dickie Roberts, former child star. In 2010, he starred in the mockbuster Mega Piranha alongside pop singer Tiffany. After Florence Henderson's death in 2016, Williams became the oldest living main cast member of the Brady Bunch. As of 2019, he lives in Branson, Missouri, and performs with his music group, Barry Williams and the Traveliers. That same year, he reunited with his co-stars for the HGTV series A Very Brady Renovation. In 2022, he competed as one of the mummies in Season 8 of The Masked Singer, with Knight and Lookinland. They were eliminated during TV theme night alongside Damon John. In 2023, Barry Williams joined Season 32 of Dancing with the Stars, dancing with professional partner Peter Murgatroyd, Eve Plum. Eve Plum became widely known for her role as Jan Brady, the often overlooked middle daughter in The Brady Bunch. As Jan, Plum portrayed a character who struggled with feelings of insecurity, being stuck between an older and younger sibling, and typical teenage worries like not having a boyfriend or wearing glasses. One of her most iconic moments came in the episode Her Sister's Shadow, where she delivered the famous line, "Marcia, Marcia, Marcia," a quote that has since become symbolic of the show, even though it was only said once. She also voiced Jan in the Brady Kids cartoon series from 1972 to 1974. Even after the original show ended, the Brady Bunch found new life in syndication and became even more popular, inspiring spin-offs, reunion specials, and parodies. Plum, along with her co-stars, was part of this continued wave of Brady-themed projects. She even contributed a spoken-word performance to the Pat Williams Orchestra's 1974 single California Love Story, which was co-produced by her father, Neely Plum. Following the show's cancellation, Plum took on more dramatic roles. Notably, she played a teenage prostitute in the 1976 NBC TV movie Dawn, Portrait of a Teenage Runaway, and returned for its sequel, Alexander, The Other Side of Dawn. However, she made headlines for not participating in the Brady Bunch Hour, 1976-77, a variety show that reunited most of the original cast. While some speculated she was distancing herself from the Brady image, Plum later clarified that she couldn't agree to the long-term contract the show required. Her absence led to her being replaced by Gary Reichel, who fans dubbed Fake Jan. Despite this gap, Plum returned for several Brady-related projects, including The Brady Girls Get Married, 1981, Dayton, The Brady Brides, A Very Brady Christmas, 1988, and The Bradys, 1990. She appeared in multiple Brady-themed TV specials through the 2000s and even participated in a Weakest Link Brady episode in 2001. Outside of acting, Plum found success as an artist, painting for over 2 decades and showcasing her work in galleries across the U.S. Her personal life included a short-lived marriage to Rick Mansfield in 1979 and a lasting marriage to Ken Pace since 1995. She lived in Laguna Beach for many years and served on the city's Design Review Board. Around 2010, she moved to New York City, but continued to split her time between the East and West Coasts. Notably, in 2016, she sold the Malibu beach house she had bought as a child in 1969 for $55,000, selling it decades later for $3.9 million. Christopher Knight. Before rising to fame as Peter Brady, Christopher Knight had a few modest television roles, including a 1967 appearance on Mannix in the episode Coffin for a Clown. In 1969, he was cast as the wisecracking middle son in The Brady Bunch, a role that would define his early career. After the original show ended in 1974, Knight continued to act, making guest appearances on popular series such as Happy Days and The Love Boat. He also appeared in a variety of films, including Just You and Me, Kid, The Doom Generation, and Nowhere. He regularly reunited with the Brady cast in spin-offs and TV movies. He even made a cameo as a coach in the Brady Bunch movie. Interestingly, Knight eventually left acting in the late 1980s to pursue a business career in the technology industry, a path uncommon for many former child stars. A self-described geek, he excelled in the field, becoming an account sales manager at Martech Inc., where he closed the company's first $1 million deal. His tech career advanced quickly. He became VP of Marketing and Sales at New Image Industry, co-founded Visual Software, an early 3D graphics company, and launched several tech ventures, including KidWise Learningware and Escape Labs, the latter of which was acquired in 2000 by Hauppauge Computer Works. Knight returned to public attention in the 2000s with reality TV. He appeared on VH1's The Surreal Life, Season 4, where his unexpected physical transformation and romance with model Adrienne Curry, 25 years his junior and winner of America's Next Top Model Cycle 1, attracted significant buzz. Their relationship was documented on My Fair Brady, a spin-off series that ran from 2005 to 2008. The couple married in a Gothic-themed wedding in Curry's hometown, Joliet, Illinois, on May 29, 2006. They later separated on their 5th anniversary in 2011 and finalized their divorce in early 2012. Knight has been married 4 times and wed his current wife, Cara Kokenis, in November 2016. Up next is another lovable character from the series, Susan Olsen. Susan Olsen, best known for playing Cindy Brady, the youngest member of the Brady Bunch, had already started acting before joining the iconic sitcom. As a child, she appeared in television classics like Ironside, Gunsmoke, and Julia, and even had a role in Elvis Presley's 1968 film The Trouble with Girls, where she played a wholesome singer. Olsen landed the role of Cindy at just under 8 years old. While the part brought her fame, it also came with personal challenges. She has openly shared that portraying the tattletale character made it hard to maintain real-life friendships. The Season 2 episode where Cindy incessantly snitches on her siblings led to her being shunned by some peers who struggled to separate her from the fictional character. She continued to voice Cindy in the Brady Kids cartoon and appeared in nearly all Brady Bunch reunion projects, except A Very Brady Christmas, which coincided with her honeymoon. Cindy was portrayed by Jennifer Runyon in that special. Olsen's acting career slowed down after high school, though she continued to appear in Brady reunions like The Brady Brides, 1981, and The Bradys, 1990. An urban myth once falsely claimed she had entered adult film. In reality, she only provided spaceship sound effects for the 1970s sci-fi porn parody Love Probe from a Warm Planet. Over the years, she made eclectic appearances, such as on Space Ghost Coast to Coast, and became a vocal advocate for migraine sufferers, discussing her experiences on Larry King Live. She also published a quirky behind-the-scenes book in 2009 titled Love to Love You Bradys, detailing the oddball Brady Bunch Variety Hour. In 2016, Olsen sparked controversy and was reportedly dismissed from her LA talk radio show, Two Chicks Talkin' Politics, after a heated social media exchange with actor Leon Accord Whiting. Accusations of homophobia followed, though Olsen later denied being fired, calling the story fake news. In recent years, Olsen reunited with her Brady Bunch co-stars in the HGTV renovation series A Very Brady and the Lifetime holiday film Blending Christmas. Like her on-screen sister, Olsen has embraced the arts, and she's also a mother of 1 and has been married twice. Despite public missteps, Susan Olsen remains a recognizable figure from television history, blending nostalgia, advocacy, and personal reinvention. And the last person on the list is Mike Lookinland. Mike Lookinland, best known as Bobby Brady, was born on December 19, 1960, in Mount Pleasant, Utah, while his family was visiting for the holidays. Raised in San Pedro, California, he began acting at age 7 and quickly became a familiar face through dozens of TV commercials before being cast in the Brady Bunch at age 9. Interestingly, Lookinland's natural hair was sandy and wavy, but producers dyed and straightened it to match his fictional brothers. Under hot studio lights, the dye would sometimes run down his face. In later seasons, he was finally allowed to wear his natural hair. Lookinland's career extended beyond the Brady Bunch, with a role in the blockbuster film The Towering Inferno and appearances in other TV shows like The Secrets of Isis. Although he initially resisted returning for The Brady Bunch Hour in 1976 and requested double pay to avoid it, producers agreed, raising everyone's salary in the process. He continued to reprise his role as Bobby in multiple spin-offs, including A Very Brady Christmas and The Bradys. where his character became a paraplegic after a racing accident. Behind the scenes, Lookinland transitioned into working as a camera operator and even made an uncredited cameo in the 2000 film Growing Up Brady. Now living in Utah, Lookinland runs a decorative concrete business. He made a return to acting in blendings with other Brady cast members and competed as a mummy on The Masked Singer in 2022 alongside Brady brothers Christopher Knight and Barry Williams. Though we've lost some of the beloved actors along the way, others appear to be doing marvelously well for themselves. Which Brady Bunch character was your favorite? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more classic TV nostalgia. And tap the next video on your screen. You're going to love it.